Yo, yo, yo. Okay, I'm Alfred Telefero, and I represent that Mr. Telefero TV. We are back, another edition of my daily podcast. This is something that I like to do. This is for the person that wants that in-depth Telefero talk. If you're really rocking with the kid, this is usually for you. This was what goes on my SoundCloud. This is what goes on my iTunes podcast. This is for the person who wants a little bit more, was cool with the blogs, but they want a little bit more, and I love giving this to the people. I love talking to the people. Got an action-packed show today. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot to discuss, obviously, with Kendrick Lamar. By the way, I do this 4 out of 7 days a week, all right? So you can get the content. I'm not going to go in as in-depth with, like, the details of everything like I do on the blogs. You can still go there for that content. But with this is more or less like a breakdown. We get in depth with what's actually going on. I give you my full perspective, something that you probably wouldn't watch in like a blog or something like that. All right. So of course today we are going to talk Kendrick Lamar, everything that's going on there. We are going to talk Trey Songz. He did a Breakfast Club interview and a Hot 97 interview yesterday with Nessa. We're going to go there. We're going to talk Shaq saying that his former Los Angeles Lakers team, the one with Kobe and Rick Fox and a couple other guys. Robert Ory's one of my favorite teams. Samari Walker. He actually said that he believes that they would destroy and dominate the currently constructed Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant. We'll talk about that there. And I think I'm going to end it today with a lesson I'm going to teach you guys. A long lesson featuring Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. All right, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar. All right, Kendrick dropped the record. For those who don't know, if you like hip hop, you've already heard the Hart Part 4. And he dropped what we can perceive as some disses to Big Sean, maybe even Drake, and of course to President Donald Trump. First and foremost, before we get into that, I want to say this. I'm happy to see Kendrick Lamar rapping. I am happy to see. I was a big good kid, Mad City guy. I liked it a lot. I played it a lot. Any long road trip, I'm rocking with that tape, song for song, no skips, no nothing. All right, but I ain't gonna lie to you guys. To Pimp a Butterfly and the Untitled, which was some throwaway joints, I had to fall back a little bit. I didn't really care for it. To Pimp a Butterfly, I understand why people liked it. It's artsy. It's message driven. I just thought it was too message driven for me. Now everybody has their preferences. It just wasn't for me. All right, you're free to love it, but it just wasn't for me. So I didn't kind of backed away from Kendrick over the last couple of years. But when you hear records like the Hart Part 4, this is Kendrick rapping, right? This is Kendrick showing you that if he really wanted to, he could be Drake on radio. He could control radio. I always go back to that verse on Memories Back Then, which was my song of 2015, I believe. You remember that Memories Back Then? Hello, wait, is that you? With them big old thighs up the scoop? Like that was one of my favorite records because it showed me if Kendrick wanted to, he could control radio through his verses. He just doesn't want to. He sees the bigger picture. And when you hear his voice, he wants you to tie it to message. When you hear his voice, when you see music from him, he doesn't want you to think it's just a normal song. He wants it to be message driven, all right? There's so many little sublims and everything like that. I mean, I just like the fact that Kendrick's rapping. I like the fact that Kendrick's acknowledging the fact that people are passing him, or it's perceived to be that people are passing him in this top 5 conversation. Y'all know I have the top 5. I have my personal top 5, and I have what I believe a mainstream top 5. My personal top 5, I have at number 1, Big Sean. At 2, I got Drake. At 3, I have Cole. At 4, I have Chance. And 5, I have Kendrick. He rounds out my top 5 right now. Just everything, total everything. That's my personal top 5. All right? But I think America sees the top 5 as 1 is number Drake. 2 is J. Cole. 3 is Kendrick Lamar. 4 is Big Sean, and 5 is Chance the Rapper. That's just how I think America perceives the top 5, right? And I think Kendrick noticed that he ain't number 1 on a lot of people's list anymore. Kendrick fans, he's still number 1. But just 9 times out of 10, you talk to somebody, they're not going to say Kendrick's the top spitter. There are people out there, but generally speaking, people are siding with the people who put out more music and that they can relate to. And I just think To Pimp a Butterfly was something that we should be able to relate to. But again, it's not a lot of songs you can put in the club. It's just the one record that I really like, This Dick Ain't Free. It's poetic based. Also, I like the We Gon' Be Alright. But ain't nobody just really bumping that in no club. Again, it's message based. It's message based. And I think Kendrick sees that. And the Hart Part 4, if this album is going to be anything like that, I'm happy. I'm happy. I think he's going to get back to spitting. And it looked like he's ready to talk about that number one talk, that number one spot talk, right? That's what it looked like he's ready to talk about. All right. And I've also noticed something. We've seen it over time. We've seen it. We're going to air out two things here before I get into the actual verse and the song. I've noticed something. Kendrick and other artists like J. Cole, the new formula when you're about to drop music is you drop a record that's not going to be on the project, but it gets attention to the project. Because streaming now takes over the vast majority of your sales. It's no need to just put all into promoting the project. What you do is you bring that aura and attention around your name. You go give a record like a False Prophet or the Hart Part 4, and you create attention by calling out somebody who maybe has said something about you or something you don't like. J. Cole, he called out Kanye and Wale, and Kendrick looks like he's calling out Big Sean and maybe even Drake. So that's a new formula. And also, I want to talk about how Kendrick and a lot of other rappers are into this whole, I'm not going to say anybody's name. I'm going to let you do the judge and all that. You judge the art. And I guess I'm fine with that. But I want this to be on record. I want you to understand, as fans, we have the right to speculate. You know, with blogs and all that right now, everybody's voicing their opinion. We have the right to speculate because you left that out in the air. Now, Kendrick, if you want to be a man about it, or Big Sean, if you want to be a man about it, say your name. Now, we're hip-hop heads to a fault, and we understand putting context clues together. We ain't dumb, all right? Putting context clues together, I'm pretty sure you're talking about Big Sean. I'm pretty sure you're talking about Kendrick. So I just want Kendrick and everybody else to understand that we're going to put these things together. Now, I'm not the hip-hop guy that's going to sit there and, oh, my gosh, he said this. Oh, my gosh. If he uses the number 6, he has to be talking about Drake. If he uses any kind of area code from Detroit, oh, my gosh, it's Big Sean he's talking about. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. The zip code, if you look at the numbers 381, no, that ain't me. That ain't me. But when it's in my face, we'll talk about it. And we'll talk about what everybody else is talking about, and I'll give you guys that platform to talk about it as well. By the way, the iTunes numbers, you can get my podcast on iTunes. Those numbers are picking up, and I'm really happy about that. By the way, also, I have a website. It's MrT.com. It's launching March 1st. But let's go ahead and get into the actual track, the Hart Part 4. I won't get too in-depth with it, but I'll kind of discuss a few of the things that's standing out to me. All right, first and foremost, the chorus that starts it out. Don't tell a lie on me. I won't tell the truth about you. That's an old slogan that I like. That sets the tone for the record. Somebody's been lying on Kendrick Lamar's name, and he ain't happy about it, all right? I like that. I like that tone. I like how we started off. Let's make this clear. This ain't the friendliest of records. This is about that hip-hop. This is about that culture. I like starting it off like that. In the first line of the first verse, Kendrick does something uncharacteristically. He talks about his numbers. Kendrick don't talk about money like that. So he has to feel something is bothering him, like some kind of tension, something is bothering him. 30 million later, my future favors. It's just not who Kendrick is. He doesn't talk about numbers like that. And it just kind of stood out to me, and it's something that we usually don't see from Kendrick, and I thought it was quite interesting. All right, we'll scroll down, and we'll probably get out of that first verse, and we'll go into that second verse where all the action happens, all right? Just reading here. My fans can't wait for me to sign your punk ass and crush your whole little shit. I'll big pun your punk ass. You a scared little bitch. Tiptoeing around my name, nigga, you lame. And when I was just getting at you, homie, don't tell me you was just playing. When I get at you, don't tell me I was playing, all right? First and foremost, Kendrick, you do realize you tiptoed around whoever you're talking about, right? You didn't say a name. You did is just as much tiptoeing as Big Sean or Drake, whoever you're talking about did. You ain't say a name either. Right there, we could look at something real quick. He could be talking about Big Sean, who it looks like Big Sean has been throwing sublims, all right? In the No More Interviews record, Big Sean took a shot at Kendrick, all right? I ain't going to read it right now, but it's pretty much whoop to whoop or whatever. All that fast rapping don't mean you a great, or you ain't a king. That's what Big Sean pretty much says. Or it could be at Drake, who in the For Free record, he was like, and like the boy from Compton said, you know this dick ain't free. So maybe he was talking about Big Sean not being clear and dissing him straight up and using his name. Or maybe you're talking about Drake, who said, and like the boy from Compton said, he didn't say his name, and I thought that meant something. Like if you really into it with somebody, sometimes you'd be like, hey, get your mans. Hey, what's your man's doing? Your man's tripping. Your man's bugging. Your boy bugging. Get him. He tripping. So I thought it was interesting. It's just something to leave in the air, but it's definitely for one of the two. I don't see it being for anybody else. All right, scroll down a little bit. Yelling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm the greatest rapper alive. That's more of a Drake thing. If I'm just speculating here, that's more of a Drake thing. Top five. All right, and let's give Drake some respect because he's such a top tier artist, and we respect him on pretty much most accords, and he's up there in pretty much everybody's list. Everything that comes out, because we think he's a top 5 rapper, it's gonna seem like Drake is coming. Somebody's coming for Drake, all right? That was the thing with Nicki, all right? That's why I had so much respect for Nicki. She didn't understand that. Remy could have said anything. It was bound to happen at the beef between them because Nicki's been on top for so long. Anybody that said something, you're coming at Nicki because she's the top rapper. If you say I'm coming for your neck, I'm coming for the top spot, you coming for Nicki. That's respect to Nicki, right? So that was more of a Drake thing. Go down, and here's where I think Big Sean got it. I think this is right where Big Sean got it, and I don't think this is a coincidence. Jay-Z Hall of Fame, sit your punk ass down. I think that's Big Sean. A lot of people speculating Drake. I did the blog earlier saying why it could be Drake, playing devil's advocate. This is about Big Sean. Jay-Z's Hall of Fame, you not. Big Sean's sophomore album, the name of it was Hall of Fame. If y'all don't remember, that's a clever play on words. Now, I would have liked Kendrick to come right at the neck and come with something about I decided, all right? Or you got the moves, you ain't got the moves. But the rappers, they usually play on something that's stuff that happened in the past. That's what they do. Also, I think it's worth noting that Rosenberg of Hot 97, salute to Rosenberg, he said he reached out to TDE and he found out that this verse from Kendrick was made in the last 48 hours. This is not on the album. Like I said, this is not part of the plan. This is something Kendrick curated in the last 48 hours. So that would maybe want you to think maybe this is a Drake because Drake just put out more life. Or, maybe it is a Big Sean stab. The Hall of Fame reference to me is a Big Sean stab. There are other things here. I don't got to read all this. You can do that. You go to Rap Genius or whatever you want to do. But I would want to get into the Donald Trump references a little bit. If you want to check out that content, you might want to check out the blog when I really break the lyrics down. But I like what he said here about Donald Trump. I'm going to read all this. All right? The whole world's going mad. Bodies is adding up. Markets is about to crash. Niggas is fake rich. Bitches is fake bad. Blacks that act white. Whites that do the dab. Donald Trump is a chump. Know how we feel, punk. Tell them that God coming. And Russia needs a replay button. Y'all up to something. Electoral votes look like memorial votes, but America's truth ain't ignoring the votes. It's blasphemy. How many gonna blast for me? I prophesied on my last song. You laughed at me. And I can keep going on. I thought those were some very deep verses talking about how some very deep lyrics talking about how Donald Trump might have Russia ties. He wouldn't understand how it is to be black for a day. Pretty much talking about how the world is different now. Black people want to be white. White people want to be black. I won't get too far into that because I don't like tying people to a race. I don't like that. I don't like that there's a certain thing we can say that's a black person thing or that's a white person thing. I don't like that. But I get what he's saying. This world can throw you off, man. There's a lot of people from other races fighting for our culture more than we're fighting for our culture. And a lot of people looking like they don't want to fight for our culture. They want to fight for other cultures. So it's a lot. And I love when Kendrick talks about stuff like that. I've always respected Kendrick's Political vernacular. I really y'all hear me talking. I always respected that about Kendrick, and I like it here. I really think he did some great things here. All right, so that might be how I want to end this segment. That's pretty much it. You can pretty much be the judge. Comment your responses about that. Who do you think Kendrick's talking about in the comment section? Talk about that. Who do you think he's talking about, man? The album is coming April 7th. That's something I didn't even get to. He said y'all got to April 7th. It might come April 7th. It might come the morning of April 8th. We don't know. He told every rapper, be on alert. I'm coming. I like this for the sport of hip hop. I like what this represents. I like going forward that Kendrick is back in the competition. And if Chance have dropped music, that'll mean my top 5 rappers in my list would have dropped music in the last 5 months. If because Chance is about to go back on tour, I thought we would get new music, but it's looking like the only new Chance records we're about to get is on Khaled's new album, which is coming, I believe, this summer. So, I think it would be great for hip hop to be able to compare all the projects and put them in order. That's what you usually don't get, right? You don't get LeBron in his prime against Michael Jordan. You don't get that. You don't get LeBron in his prime against Kobe in the finals. You don't get that often. That's all speculation. But pretty much all of these rappers are in their prime. Chance may be a couple years out, but he's making incredible music at a young age, right? So I like what we got going here, and I like the competition for hip-hop. I think it's a great thing. So we're going to end it there. When I come back, we're going to talk Trey Songz, man. We're going to talk Trey Songz' new project, Trey Songz' new album, and we're going to talk about how he addressed Young Money. He addressed Drake and Nicki Minaj, right? We will be right back after this. Stay tuned. My daily podcast, March 24th. We're out. Be back. Right, we are back. Mr. Teleferro's show in full effect, the daily podcast. Trey Songz, man. Trey Songz is a guy, I don't think he gets enough credit for just what he does. Let me adjust my mic. What he does for the R&B scene. One of the only guys holding it down for R&B, I feel like. It's been like that for quite some time now. I think The Weeknd makes great pop records. It's pop / R&B. Bruno Mars makes better records than probably The Weeknd and Trey Songz combined. Just overall polarizing records. But when I talk R&B, I ain't playing no damn Bruno Mars when I'm with my girl. I'm cool on that. Now, we listen to that Trey Songz. We like that Trey. We like that trigger. Yup. But Trey Songz, man, he just dropped his new album. I want y'all to go check it out, man. Incredible body of work. I have been following it week by week. That Playboy, for all my brothers out here that got a past, if that Playboy ain't talking to you, I don't even know if I can relate to you. I feel like we all have had to deal with that in the past. I just got over the hump. I'm 23, so I'm young, but I just got over that hump of being a playboy and not wanting to settle and commit because of the road and like all that in college and all that. But man, if that Trey Songz ain't some of y'all lives out there, me and you probably can have a conversation, all right? Something I had to get over. It's just a lot of records that I like, just like how Trey Songz puts music together. And I don't feel corny for listening to it as a dude who ain't listening to a shit ton of R&B at this point in my life. I like listening to Trey Songz, and I'll tell that to anybody. So he's doing interviews for this album that just dropped. The name of the album is Tremaine, by the way. Check it out. It's everywhere. He's doing interviews, and of course they're going to ask him about Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma. Remember, Remy Ma said, "You slept," told the world in her Sheether verse or track that Nicki slept with Trey. All right. If you don't remember how that situation transpired, briefly here, I was out in CIAA, and that's when Remy dropped this Sheether record to Nicki. Nicki got on social media and started ranting. Trey Songz apparently had just woke up. He got on social media. He tweeted about the record, like kind of like a what's going on type ordeal. Nicki went off. Well, Nicki was going off anyway. And then Trey made a video after. He's like, I'm going to go out of my way to address this because really I don't even address shit like this. I let people just think what they want. If I went and addressed every sex rumor I had, it'll be all day. But he was like, I'm going to go out of my way to address this. And what got misconstrued is the video wasn't on his social media account. I checked it myself. It wasn't on his social media account, but it was floating on the internet. Nicki Minaj didn't do her due diligence. She got at Trey on Twitter, said, I gave you $6 million in plaques. Trey Songz got offended by that. Nicki was like, "Look, man, you need to address this better than what you did." It went from there. Trey Songz was like, "You need to be mad at Remy. I ain't the one who dissed you for 7 minutes. You need to go get in the studio. It took you forever. I think he said it took you like 4 or 5 days to make a damn diss record." And Remy and you got on Twitter tweeting. I never understood that. When Nicki don't even be on social media like that, right? But when Remy dissed her, she went out of her way to get on social media. She was tweeting. She don't never tweet, and that phone was in her hand. That wasn't none of her team's. That was in her hands. She was tweeting like crazy, posting pictures like crazy, throwing ass like crazy. And she went out of the way to show that she wasn't unbothered, but what it did was show us that she was bothered, right? So that was pretty much that there. So Trey's doing interviews, and he's talking Nicki Minaj. He's like, "Look, I should have really gave it to Nicki for that. I kind of let her off the hook. If it was a dude, we would have had to see each other, and some words would have had to been exchanged. I even did that, even though I don't really address shit like that. If you remember the Keke Palmer situation, I don't really address shit like that." So Trey was like, I did Nicki a favor, and the fact that she tried to do me like that, that's pretty dirty. Remember, Nicki, I was making hit records before you. Is what pretty much Trey was saying. All right? You didn't start getting them hit records to Monster. And, that's what ensued bottoms up. But before that, I was giving you them plaques. Trey was like, remember that. All right? So I really rock with what Trey Songz did there. I think the brother has been consistent in who he is. I don't think he's never wavered on who he is as a person. I've always respected Trey Songz because I see a lot of people who really rock with a lot of these rappers who really ain't about their life. I done been around them. And they want more tea, and they want their tea a certain temperature. They want their water a certain degree. Bullshit. Won't drink room temperature water. The security, you can't even talk to a guy. The manager do the talking for them. They won't even say nothing to you. They treat you like dirt. I've seen it. I've seen divas in these rappers. Trey Songz is more of a rapper than all y'all. A lot of them, at least. He don't really act like a diva. And he do a lot of stuff with people that he probably ain't got no business doing. He show a lot of love. Right? And I've always respected that about Trey Songz. I'm pushing for this Trey Songz interview. I'm going to just shoot mine. You know what I'm saying? I want that Trey Songz interview to happen soon. So, Trigger, if you're listening to this, rock with your boy. Hit me up. Or point me in a direction and hit you up. With that being said, I really like how Trey aired it out. I really like how Trey aired it out. Professionally unprofessional. Let Nicki know that I let you off that damn hook. But still, Nicki, hit me up if you want to do a verse. I respect that. Speaking of Young Money, another person that Trey dropped some jewels on and talked about the relationship that's very estranged, that we didn't know a lot about, was Drizzy Drake. I didn't know that there was tension, but one could assume Trey Songz and Drake hadn't did records in a long time, 6-7 years, and they had success when they were doing records. Why not stick to that formula? Like, it's one thing if Drake doesn't want to do any more records with Kendrick Lamar or any other rappers like J. Cole, but these are two R&B guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, well, one R&B guy and one guy that does R&B but still is a rapper. So there's not a lot of crossover there. We still consider Drake a rap song rapper, I guess. So there's really no crossover. Ain't nobody stepping into each other's field. And with that being said, Trey Songz has never really cared about that. He's worked with Chris Brown. They did tours together. That's never been a thing for him. So one would assume, like, why y'all haven't made music? Well, Trey Songz said it, straight foot forward. There's tension there. We got to air some stuff out. Trey went and opened up for Drake, or did some stuff for Drake the other night, came out on his set in London. Let me not say opened up, but did some stuff for his set in London. And Trey said, look, we got in the studio in December. That was the first time we had talked in a while. We got a couple records, possibly in the chamber. We were going to do it for the albums, but it just didn't happen in time. But me and Drake need to sit down and still have a talk man to man. That's some stuff that we got to air out. And he even said I could have signed Drake back in the day. Drake wanted him to sign with him, all right? So that's some pretty important shit. They did have that successful record a long time ago, all right? So I thought that was pretty dope, and I thought Trey Songz gave a really honest perspective on why him and Drake ain't been rocking. There it is right there if you want to know. We got issues. We got to handle that as grown men. Check out the Breakfast Club interview if you haven't done so. It's a very, very good interview. Very honest and candid Trey Songz, all right? When we come back, I'm going to get into some sporting news. Shaq says that his Los Angeles Lakers team that won championships will be better than the Golden State Warriors. We'll be right back after this. All right, so Shaquille O'Neal says a lot of crazy things. He does a lot of immature things as well. At his age, it's very immature, some of the things he does. But we're going to really get into this one, right? We're going to really get into this one for a few minutes. Shaq's doing an interview. By the way, the brother's getting honored tonight at Staples Center. Magic won't even be there because he's in Memphis right now, in my hometown, watching Lonzo Ball play Kentucky, all right? But Shaq said a lot of crazy things, did a lot of crazy things in his life. But we're going to try to pretty much pinpoint the craziness of this debate, the craziness of this topic, and kind of just see where people are rocking with. I'm going to let y'all comment y'all responses. I'm going to just give y'all perspectives, probably on both sides of it, all right? Shaq says his Golden State Warriors, his Los Angeles Lakers team, which included, we'll just pick a team, right? We'll just pick a team. We'll go with the one with Derek Fisher, Kobe, Rick Fox, Robert Horry, and Samari Walker. I pretty much a starting lineup for give or take. And Shaq. So we'll take Samari Walker and put him on the bench. Or we'll put Robert Horry on the bench. One of the two, whatever you want to do. And we'll go Derek Fisher, Kobe, Rick Fox, Robert Horry, Shaq, and then Samari off the bench. So I gave you 6 guys. And I'll give you 6 guys for Golden State, for give or take. We'll go, of course, Curry, Clay, of course, KD, Draymond, and we'll go Zaza Pachulia, who's technically their starting big. Now, you know what? For the sake of conversation, we'll go JaVale McGee, and then we'll go Andre Iguodala. All right? So those are the 6 for the Warriors. And we're pretty much going to have a conversation. Shaq said that the Lakers would dominate the Warriors. I don't know about that. I think a lot of it depends on the era. Like, if the Warriors would have been playing in the Lakers I probably would have given the Lakers the advantage. But if the Lakers are playing in this jump shooting era, I don't know if they could keep up with these Warriors. I'm not going to lie to you. I just don't know if they could keep up with them. You look at the matchups, Kobe Bryant and Shaq are the 2 best players on the court. But after that, you could argue that the Warriors have the next 5 or 6 best guys on the court. So that's where it's getting iffy. I'll go Shaq, the best player on the court at the time, Kobe the second. Then I'll go KD, Steph, Clay, Draymond, Iguodala, and then I might insert Robert Horry, and then I might go Rick Fox. I'll go Derek Fisher. Then I'll go JaVale McGee, then Rick Fox, something like that. All right? So it's give or take. Do you want the 2 best players or do you want the team with the better players? All right? And I just think it comes down to, like any other game, who can impose their will? All right? Shaq made a good point. He was like, when players used to light up people from the three-point line, he would tell the guards on the perimeter, send them to me. I'll take a foul, and I'll knock their ass out. He was like, I would send Steph Curry I would have a guard send him into the paint, have D. Fish send him into the paint, and I would knock Steph out. But that's where I get lost at. You see, you only got 6 fouls, Shaq. So now, if we're in a game where you're going to be in foul trouble, I think I might side with the Warriors. Now, y'all know I'm a Lakers guy. Like, I still remember Horry's shot for the win over Sacramento in the Western Conference Finals one year. A huge shot, one of my favorite moments of all time. Horry for the win. Yes, go run it back, all right? I know my history when it comes to the Lakers. But I don't know if the Lakers would have the depth, and I'm forgetting guys on that team, but I think I might go with the Warriors here, guys. I think I might go with the Warriors. I think Cleveland would match up. I think the Lakers would match up better with Cleveland. I think the Lakers would match up better with Cleveland with a young Kobe Bryant who could still do a decent job on LeBron James. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the Warriors would be a tough matchup because Steph would give D. Fish nightmares, and this is even a younger, athletic D. Fish. He would give him fits. D. Fish did have some strength though. Clay would do a decent job on Kobe, and Rick Fox would have to do a more than great job on Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a long son of a gun. Draymond Green and Robert Horry, I think that would be a better matchup than people give Robert Horry credit for. Robert Horry was a bad boy back in his day, and he made a lot of shots. So that would draw Draymond out on the perimeter at all times. And Draymond is comfortable playing out there. But that would mean it would be probably Shaq versus JaVale McGee. Shaq would destroy JaVale McGee. But I think KD and Steph would get in the lane a little bit and draw some fouls on Shaq. So if this thing is a 7-game series, if it goes 7, I expect for at least 3 of those games Shaq to be in foul trouble. And that alters the series dramatically. So because of that and because of the Warriors having bigs they could throw as currently constructed, Zaza Pachulia has 6 fouls. JaVale McGee has 6 fouls. All right, that they're willing to give up and just have to play small ball at the end of the game with Iguodala and Draymond and KD at the forwards and center. I'm going to go Warriors in this, y'all. I'm going to go Warriors in this. I think a couple games they might blow these Lakers out off the court. I think Kobe might win one by himself, and I think Shaq might win the other 2. So I give the Lakers 3, but I think a couple games the Warriors will blow this team out. And the other 2 Warrior wins, I give them close games. But I just think, man, that court spacing is a motherfucker. And excuse me for my language, I think I'd probably roll with the Warriors in 7. That's where I think I would go. But if it gets to 7 in L.A., the clutchest player on the court is Kobe. So it's a lot of conundrums and a lot of what if. But I think it was a fun conversation. Talk to me. Who would be the winners? Talk to me in my comment box below on whatever platform you're listening to me on. All right, when we come back, my final take. I call it Teleferro's take. Not trying to bite first take here, but it's Teleferro's take. And we are talking, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. I'm gonna teach you guys a lesson. All right, we'll be right back. All right, there are a few people that I really take up for that I really don't know personally like that. I've met this guy before, but I don't know him personally. So I don't really take up for people like that often, especially in that industry. I ain't with all that. It's just not my field. It ain't my lane. I'm cool on that, bro. But one person, y'all know I don't play about Steve Harvey. As you can see, I got his book next to me, as a matter of fact. I don't play about Steve Harvey. And I got another guy that I don't play about as well. I'm actually about to get his book as soon as it launches. I think it comes out in April or May. May, actually. And that's Kevin Hart. I don't play about him. I don't play about him because I know the guy. I understand his heart. I'm a real one. All right. I know when people got good in their heart and when they don't. Most of the time, I understand it. I know it. I can feel that tension. All right. So when you see stuff that I don't really act on or call out, I don't believe the person got real in their heart and ain't even no point in me in addressing it. All right. So you won't see Kevin Hart do this often. You will not see Kevin Hart do this often. Let me say this one last time. A brother this many millions up, you will not see him do this often. Kevin Hart went out of his element to address something that he got on Twitter. Somebody must have watched Dave Chappelle's new comedy stand-up. And by the way, this was trending the other day, and I went in on it on Twitter for a second. And somebody, I ain't going to even say the guy's Twitter name, you see it. He said, Dave Chappelle is way funnier than you. And he had mentioned Kevin Hart. And you can tell that got into Kevin Hart. It was a lot of tweets about it. It was trending. It prompted Kevin Hart to say this. That's fine with me, pal. The real ones don't compete because we know that there is money and success out here for all of us. Only weak individuals compare themselves to others. The strong ones only compete against themselves. I'm my own competition. Hashtag positive vibes only. Hashtag so happy for comedy. My comedy brother. And hashtag love beats hate all the time. Now everybody go watch Dave's new special on Netflix. It's Flames. All right. Let me go ahead and make this clear. I'm looking into the camera right now. This is as serious as I can get. Black people, and this is for the whole country, but I want to talk to my people real quick. There is enough room for all of us to win. All right? Last time I checked, they're still making more and more money. Last time I checked, you get paid, right? That money don't stay in your account all the time, right? You distribute it to other people. Money is being transferred every damn day. All right? So the focal point of this Teleferro take is this. There is enough money, enough revenue coming in that everybody can eat in their own respective field if they're talented, if they're dope, if they have the essential needs, influential figures in their life, they can make it happen. You can do it. You can do it. Like, I'm not just finna harp over this for 20 minutes. You could do it. There is no need to hate on another man's shining. This guy wanted Kevin Hart to give Dave Chappelle some negative energy so bad. But what you don't understand is what Kevin Hart did, that stand-up comedy world, if y'all don't remember, it was dead before Kevin Hart brought it back. So yes, even though Kevin Hart needs to thank Dave Chappelle a lot for Kev even being here, because Dave Chappelle was one of the first. Let's make that clear. Kevin could also get a thanks from Dave Chappelle because Kevin brought this stuff back. That shit was dead. Like, people were still doing good money in stand-ups, don't get me wrong, on the road. But the stand-up specials and this Netflix shit, Kev brought all that to light. Kev was the one who brought Netflix viewership up in the black comedy realm. Don't ever forget that. And this whole world of black people becoming too successful, I see it all the time. Oh, we like our people. We like when they nigga rich, right? We like when they successful still in the hood every day. We like the Young Dros of the world. I ain't taking no shots at Young Dro. But we like Young Dro's, for those who don't know, Young Dro's an artist that's infamously known for. T.I. said that he still kicks it in the hood too much, and he said that Young Dro is Young Dro's biggest enemy. Why he ain't one of the biggest artists, because he always has a hit record every now and then. All right? We like that. We like when you're around that level of fame. But when you get to that Memphis, when you get to that Yo Gotti type level of fame, Philly, when you get to that Meek Mill type fame, I don't know about that. You changed. You switched up. You ain't the same person. Because that's what it is. That's that slave mentality in us that we have to get rid of. That's that. You do know what slaves used to do to what slave masters used to do to each other, right? The slave masters, read it, go watch some film. They would prompt slaves to be against each other. So what they do is they'd gas these slaves up and be like, oh, you gonna let him get this piece of food today? You gonna let him have this and you don't got that? Which would make the slaves want to work harder. Which would make the slaves want to envy each other. I just learned that a couple months ago. That's slave talk. Slave mentality. Why we ain't happy for Kev? You don't see all the people that he affecting? He got a team with him, right? He got people around him that's eating, that's able to feed their families, right? And what pissed me off about Kevin, that hate that Kevin Hart get, it really pissed me off. Because beyond being black, Kevin is doing something for the world. He get me up early in the gym. I watch his brother every day on the Snapchat. I watch Kevin Hart snaps. I like it. He get up every day, 5 a.m., 5:30, working out, going at it, getting it in. And I respect that. He doing these, going with kids, renting out gyms. He just did it last weekend, I believe, for Angela Yee. They rented out a gym in NYC. The kids running, getting the kids getting some exercise going, doing the specials, the 5K runs, where he ain't making no money, might I add. He's doing this just to get a jog in when he's in your city and when he's doing his comedy tour. Ain't getting enough credit. So now when he reached that level of fame where he's not making jokes that just fix the black demographic, when these jokes fit the mainstream perspective, we don't like that. We don't like that type of fame. Nah, tone it down a little bit, Kev. You too popping, bro. We don't like that. We want you in a level of where you're successful and able to give back to us, but you can still be next to us. We don't like that other kind of fame. And I don't like that mentality. And the fact that people want to compare Dave to Kevin and saying he never is funny. All right. Yes, Kev owed Dave Chappelle a lot of just getting into the business. But when you talk about these Netflix specials and all that, you better realize who creating that lane and who about to create Laugh Out Loud Network, which is pretty much Netflix for comedy. Better remember that. I'm just saying, a lot of people throw a lot of hatred Kevin Hart way because he ain't that funny. And am I laughing at every Kevin Hart joke? I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I'm not. Do I respect this man? And I do laugh. I laugh more at him on social media. I think he's funnier on social media than he is in his movies now. It ain't for me. But is somebody in this world laughing? Yes, the hell they are. Is he making money, successful, making jokes when people around the world are laughing? Yes, they are. Black people. Just because the person is our race doesn't mean they have to tie themselves just to the race. As long as you don't sell out, you don't sell yourself short, you can make other money. There are other types of people out here. We don't have to be so stuck on ourselves where once you get to a certain level, we expect you to do stuff within our community or make jokes just for us or make music just for us. As long as you never forget the emphasis of giving back to our community, that's where I'm at. As long as you still give back to us and still stand for something morally, I'm okay with you making yourself as big as you can. Listen to me. You better listen to me. Somebody gonna listen to this all the way through and catch these jewels that I'm dropping. I'm 23. You hear me? You might as well get ready to call me a sellout now. I want everything God got for me in this one life I got to live. And I don't care. You can compare me to any blogger. I don't care about that. How many bloggers I get compared to? But the thing that they forget is all these bloggers they compare me to, they ain't never been on the road like I have. Now I bust my ass off day and night. It's all on my channel. Getting interviews that you would have never thought of. Getting bigged up by some of the biggest artists to ever do it. Ricky Rose got a top #1 album right now. Right? Getting big up from Ricky Rose on the road. From Adrian Peterson on the road. Peyton Manning said he respect my hustle. I could go on days and days. I just talked to Lucci a month ago. Lucci said, I really respect your hustle. And going up to somebody like Lucci, he said he know who I am before I even get to him. He knew who the hell I was. I get respect like that all the time when I'm on the road. I just ain't on the road a lot right now because I just got out of college. All right? They compare me to all these bloggers like I ain't college educated. Like I ain't got some respect on my name. Worked at ESPN. You better do your due diligence on me. Now, I could get mad. They compare me to bloggers. Y'all know what you want me to say? They compare me to academics all the time. Copying academics. That shit don't bother me. You think that bother me? You think I'm so happy for that brother and everything he doing. I want him to win. I want young black brothers to have platforms. I ain't into all that other shit. I talk about beef on my channel to make money, to help empower communities, and that's what I'm gonna do with myself. If it take me talking about a couple hip hop artists doing something ignorant to empower myself, I don't even care. That's who I am. That's what the wave that I'm on. And the fact that there's a certain level of fame that we don't like people get to in our community, it's sad, man. It's sad. I hate to end the show so high on energy right now, but I feel it. I feel good, y'all. I feel good. I hope y'all enjoyed the podcast. I feel like this bad boy went way over time. I try to keep it around 30, 40 minutes, but I feel like this bad boy way over time. I guess I'll see when I edit. All right? March 24th, 2017. My website is MrT.com. If you watch this whole thing, you loyal. I respect you. You a real one. You watch this whole thing through. Thank you for the love and support that you've shown me. You don't even understand. You don't even understand. I got big things coming, huge announcements coming, huge interviews coming your way. Thank y'all for the time, love, support. That's Teleferro's Take. That bad boy is starting to get hot, all right? I'm out. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@mrteleferro.com. Again, that's booking@mrteleferro.com.